Jayson Tatum is angry. He realizes that the Celtics should have won the championship after nearly taking a 3-1 series lead in the finals. He knows he didn't give it his all when it counted the most. In this video, we'll take a look at how Jayson Tatum is destroying the NBA media. Jayson understands that he is capable of more than what he demonstrated against the Warriors. As he dominates at an MVP level this season, it's clear how much of last year is still fueling him. He's playing with more feeling, conviction, and purpose than ever before. Every game, he acts as if his opponent has done him wrong in some way, and he needs to show them who's boss. The most important and impressive aspect is that, as angry as Tatum is, he is also under control. He's not trying to do too much, instead allowing the game to come to him while also taking control of it. That is extremely difficult to accomplish and should not be taken for granted. It's easy in sports to become so focused on redemption that you lose sight of how important composure is in achieving that goal. So far this season, Tatum has mastered that balance and is channeling his frustration in the right direction. It began in Game 1, when he openly admitted how much last year's finals loss hurt and stayed with him. While it's implied that it hurt him, hearing him say it aloud reminded me of how much he cares about his craft. He didn't always demonstrate it early in his career, but it was always present. It took heartbreak to bring it to light. Everywhere I went, people said, "Good job in the finals." The following year, "You guys did fantastic," Tatum said. They mean well, but it's just a reminder of what we lost. It's opening night, and one team is getting a ring while we aren't, which kept me awake last night. Bradley Beal, Tatum's childhood babysitter, told Heavy Sports' Steve Bulpett that Tatum definitely took it to heart. "I know he was very frustrated when we talked about it," Beal told Bulpett. "It's just motivation right now. It's motivation for him to keep doing what he's been doing in these early games." Beal told Bulpett that Tatum believes he is the best player on the court in every game. Every offseason, he improves his skill set. But this year, Beal has noticed another area of improvement. He's always going to expand. But it's his mentality, Beal explained to Bulpett. "As you can see, his mental approach and aggression in the game this year are vastly different. Tatum has an undeniable swagger right now. He's no longer the reserved 19-year-old who blends in with his teammates, but a confident, vocal 24-year-old who leads not only with his actions, but also with his voice. He helped the Grizzlies finish the game in style. He makes it clear to the fans that this is his home, not Ja Morant's. He wouldn't have done it earlier in his career, but he's no longer afraid. Nobody expects him to be Kevin Garnett, but he's more assertive and boisterous than before, and he's making his presence known. When you see your best player invest, it's impossible not to follow suit as a teammate." Tatum set the tone that night against the 76ers with 35 points, and he hasn't slowed down since. He's averaging 30.1 points, 7.4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.4 blocks, and 0.8 steals per game, while shooting 49.7% from the field, 36.3% from distance, and 89.2% from the free throw line. "I don't think I've ever started a season off this well," Tatum said. "I'm probably getting older and understanding the game a little better than I did a few years ago." Perhaps the most impressive statistic is that he is going to the line 8.3 times per game, a career high. He has made 78 free throws, ranking 4th in the league behind DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, and Luka Doncic. Tatum's improved finishing ability was on display in Game 1, and there's now a large enough sample size to know it wasn't a fluke. He's shooting 77.4% from less than 5 feet, up from 65.8% and 65.9% the previous 2 seasons and 55.4% this season. Tatum led the Celtics to the NBA Finals following the most complete season of his professional career. This season, he was a first-time All-NBA selection and the conference finals MVP. Even Tatum's most ardent supporters admit that his path to superstardom hasn't been smooth. During his rookie season, Boston advanced to the conference finals ahead of schedule. However, the seasons that followed were marked by inconsistency. As a result, it was difficult to set expectations for him and Boston's other young star, Jaylen Brown. Tatum, on the other hand, never gave up hope. Tatum idolized Bryant as a child. It wasn't your typical number 24 wearing childhood crush either. Tatum's life revolved around Kobe. When Team USA went to Beijing for the 2008 Olympics, Bryant was 10 years old, and he arrived with ice bags on his knees while the team was just sitting down for breakfast. Tatum, like Kobe, was going to outwork everyone. Tatum would get up at 5:30 a.m. every day, armed with a Chaminade College prep gym key, and work out with Hanlon before class. His mother was not an early riser. "I can't want it more than you," she'd say. "You don't want it enough," she said if she had to wake him up. When she woke up and he was gone, she knew he'd gotten it. Tatum still watches Kobe clips when he needs inspiration or a confidence boost. There were a lot of those moments this season. In mid-January, the Celtics were 11th in the Eastern Conference, and there were renewed calls to trade him or Jaylen Brown. They couldn't coexist, according to critics, because they didn't distribute the ball enough. Were either of them capable of being the best player on a championship squad? Was a third star still required to put them over the top? Tatum admits that there were times during the season when he wondered, "Damn, am I any good? Do I have what it takes to be the guy on the championship team? Man, maybe I'm not ready," he says. "But I just kept believing in myself, doing what got me here, and trusting that things would turn around." When Embiid is struggling, Hanlon, who also trains him, says Embiid will quickly fly him out. Tatum, on the other hand, has a tendency to suffer in silence. When Tatum sputtered earlier this season, Hanlon didn't even wait for him to call. At halftime, he boarded a plane, and they returned to the lab. When Tatum needs motivation, he remembers his mother, who earned her bachelor's, master's, and law degrees while working and raising a family. "Every day, she dropped me off at school," Tatum says. "Every day, she picked me up. She drove me to all of my practices. She attended every game, even if she was studying for the bar exam in the car. She just did everything. She was an inspiration to me, because my mother always gave me confidence. She told me she would always be there for me, no matter what I wanted to do, but she was always tough on me. She never let me make excuses for myself." Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. This is a grown man who will not accept no for an answer. He's ruthlessly attacking the basket, and he has that "you can't stop me" look in his eyes that Paul Pierce and David Ortiz used to have. Tatum is taking fewer shots than in previous seasons, but his three-point attempts are up. While his mid-range game remains solid when called upon, his shot selection has improved significantly. His defense has also been excellent. That 1.4 blocks per game figure is impressive. The undersized Celtics have relied on him to play big, and he has done so consistently this season. He also has a career-low 1.8 fouls per game while playing a career-high 36.5 minutes per night. Tatum kept Morant quiet whenever he could on Monday, holding him scoreless on 4 shots. It wasn't by chance that he found himself stuck with Morant with the stakes raised. "I say it all the time. Trying to have an impact on both ends," Tatum explained. "Especially when competing against other great, good, talented players. It's all about competing and meeting the challenge within the parameters of the game plan. That's what I try to do every night." He's doing everything the Celtics require while not overworking himself. It's only been 10 games, but this relentless yet poised Tatum appears to be here to stay. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you with another interesting video.